Hi everyone, you're watching Jeanne FX, and in this video I'm going to make technical analysis for the coming week. Of course, it's all based on my system, how I use the levels, and before we will look at possible entry points for this coming week, I would like to show you a little bit of results of trades for this week, because some of you are asking me to do so. It's not very easy and practical to do it, and but sometimes I promised I will do so. So I'm going to show you how I use levels and patterns for placing my pending orders. Okay, so you will see this is a real life example. I was looking after Monday and preparing my pending orders for Tuesday. Okay, so now you can see it's euro-dollar, of course, and remember that I was telling you that it's looking like a possible pattern, right? Could have been diamond, or how I call it, fish pattern. Okay, diamond pattern, as you know, usually will change the direction of the trade, of the trend, and the fish I call is might continue with the trend. Okay, so and why I call it fish once again is because if you draw it like a child, fish, like you know how to teach you how to draw it, that's why I call it that pattern. So you can see now. That's what I was drawing. That's what I'm trying to show you before Tuesday opening of European session, because usually that's how I prepare it. Well, it depends where I am. Okay, so right now I'm doing it in the evening before. In the evening, it's like 10 o'clock something in the evening, and I will be placing the orders during the obvious Asian session. Okay, so which I don't really like to do, but when I can't really. It's a little bit too early for me in where I am now to get up like at 5 o'clock in the morning or something. So that's why if I see there is something is there, I can place it before. So you can see it does look like a pattern right now, right? So I have these levels, but I'm going to remove like the top level and using the previous one, okay, because it's more strong. And you can see the bottom one, okay, that little level. It's possible if, for example, the market will move smoothly and possibly to place the trades from that level too, which I'm not going to do just yet, okay? So now looking at pound dollar, you can see it was a pattern which I drew before, but the movement already happened. Now I have a little bit dollar yen. You can see there is a possibility to place orders. Australian dollar only has one level, which for me it's not as good yet. Dollar Canadian also could place another level. Euro pound just give me nothing. Okay, gold create kind of a little bit looking like a possibly flag, but very close. You see, can go up, and at the same time, of course, it can continue the way down. So for me, it's not very good at this moment. And pound yen is also. I would rather like see it to go up to the next level and give some consolidation, or just continue with more consolidation around this level, which obviously can possibly go down. So now I'm showing you where I am I decided to place the order. So I'll look through all the pairs, and this is just placing with my expert advisor, where I'm making the settings. You don't have it, most of you guys, but you can do everything of this manually. I used to do it all manually, which, yeah, I understand it's not very convenient, but and it's better, of course, to watch. So that's why I'm showing you from that level, 20 pips. This is where it should take me if it will go up, and this is where about 10 pips. First, it will close some positions at 10 pips and continue with the rest. And I'm not placing the order sell because it's not clear yet. Okay, some the market didn't move, but the top level is quite strong. Okay, pound dollar, obviously I'm going to not place any orders because the movement already happened, and now I'm placing orders on dollar yen. Okay, because like I was saying, if it will create a little bit of channel, then it's possible to place the order. So here we go again. I'm placing the pending order buy and pending order sell with the same settings, 20 pips up and 20 pips down for go into the trade if it will move, right? And now I'm just going to see what to place, first stop loss to place. So a little bit of, I would say, tip if you are watching the trades, well, if, like when I'm watching it at the market, would not place usually stop. I have it in mind, but I will just will not place it just yet. But when I'm not watching it, I like to place it just in case there will be unpredictable movements. So I missed Australian dollar, decided also not to place any orders because it wasn't strong enough for me. For dollar Canadian, I also felt like I would place some orders too, because it's been around important levels, and same again, the same strategy, same 20 pips up and 20 pips down, and taking the first 10 pips half positions and leaving the rest with trailing stop. Like I'm saying, my expert will leave trailing stop 10 pips, but when I again watch it, I would rather to not to place it and then just move it manually, okay, on the safe position. Okay, so just activating it. Okay, so that's live. Okay, so and now we are back to the main charts. So here's a bit of the results. You can see these are my trades, which are not only I was doing on the 6th of November, you see the 7th and 8th November, and this is a bit of the result. Well, not much, but still 480, and you can see there is no floating, nothing's floating at this moment. So let's just now have a look at what are the trades I took, just a little bit tell you, and what we will be looking at this coming week. Okay, so like I was saying to you when I'm showing you the opportunities where you can just make like 10 pips minimum, right? So like some of you saying, oh, you go for 10 pips only, it's not very much when you like have a big stop, but okay, I'm going for 10 pips. You saw example, right? How I'm placing my orders, but like I'm looking for the minimum, but in total for this week it was 200 and something pips for me. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It's the strategy is a little bit, you go for 10 pips, you close in half positions, and then the rest of it you leave, and then depends how big your lot is. You can close some positions on the way and leave more, and then move your stop, and that's why you're increasing it. So it's not just 10 pips you're making, okay, you're making more than 10 pips, but originally just for the protection. And I'm going to show you examples now again this week. Like I'm saying, do not go for the big movements, for the big profit, okay? Just protect yourself, because today you might catch a big movement, but tomorrow you're going to catch the big loss. So that's why the other ways works better anyway for me. When you just go for the small first 10 pips, let's do it that way. Again, when you're doing it not when you do it manually, plus minus, okay, might be 10 pips, might be slightly more than that, depends how the market moves. If it moves very fast, then you don't need to get out straight away, you just move your stop quickly, okay, and you can have all your lot wherever, how big it is, keeping it, and then when it start to retrace, for example, you can close some and then move your stop again. So that's how you can do it. It's not stricted, okay, but kind of strategy is about the same. The rules, okay, just follow the rules, kind of. So okay, let's go to euro dollar once again. So this is what it looks like now, right? So you saw how it was on Monday, Tuesday. These were the movements, okay, and I actually had one buy that you saw when I was placing, and I was buying once again a little bit more, and you see the market moved down and they consolidated again around the same level. So I'm just showing you that area based on that, but I was placing another sell order later, okay, so on when it was 8th of November for sell, when the market went back and consolidated a little bit around the same area. So okay, you see this is again, but once again, when I was placing here one order to pending one buy, and here I was only placing one order sell, because you can see the other order buy was not possible to place at all, okay, because it wasn't as nice trade channel, I call it, okay. So this is a little another trade which you saw in my results I showed you earlier. So, and what is it to look for now? So well, right now it's stopped in here, and I'm just waiting for it rather to go back to this level, okay, or possibly just to go back to that level. So it's all pretty much nothing different, just waiting for any consolidation on one or another level, and then we'll see what's going to happen, okay, we'll create any patterns, because right now, if I was showing you previous week, it was a good possibility of creating the pattern. At this moment, it gives me nothing, so that's why I can't say anything what to look at right now here, because it's in the middle of nowhere between these levels, and I would not a risk to go for any. If it will have a small even consolidation here, it's a little bit risky, so I wouldn't go for it. I'll just wait to go to one or another level. And once again, if it will break too much, will jump wherever up and then go back to this area again to see what's going to happen. If it will break that one, then we need to go on a bigger chart and see what is it there. There is pretty much nothing around here. You can see, right? Again, we can go even on the bigger one and see that in here also nothing to pretty much look at. So if it will break that, then just somewhere underneath that, wait for any, again, consolidation or creation of the pattern. Okay, so that's pretty much it with euro dollar. Just at this moment, I don't like any of the position at that point. Of course, like I'm saying, it can go back up. It might look like it's going to be a possible flag. It still might be huge, also big pattern of diamond, but at this moment, just waiting for any movement back to one or another level for me. Okay, so this is euro dollar. Pound dollar. So that's what I was showing to you with pound dollar. It was quick. Didn't pay attention much, but now I want to show you. Remember when previous video I told you that from here I would expect it to maybe jump up or jump down, and it's exactly what's happened, exactly what I was expecting it as the first point. And I gave you this diamond shape looking pattern, which I said it might be not diamond, because if it would be diamond, it will break that level, right, and go down. So that was a fish pattern for me, because this would have been the placing order from this level up, and possibly placing order from this level down. This is the new level I just drew. Okay, I will tell you about it again. And so you see all the movements. Why I didn't go for trade? Because it happened on Monday. Okay, and like I told you, I don't really like trade on Mondays. I usually wait for Monday, but in this situation, well, okay, the movement was on Monday, and you can see how it's continued way up inside these pattern levels. Okay, this is the levels you draw. It's a little bit like this one is not really correct a little bit. If you draw a little bit more, they have to be parallel to each other. Okay, this one's parallel and this one's parallel. So, and this is where you see possibly where you would expect market to go. That's why I was waiting for it to come back to go to this level, consolidate. It didn't. You see, it touched it and it turned down to this level, and this is where I placed another order, sell. Okay, so that was my next sell, which I didn't go too much in here. I was waiting for another bit of consolidation. I was planning to place orders continue, because it actually took me out from a really nice trade, and because it was very wide spread. And okay, the spread was here pretty big, and I could not place any orders. It was during this the end of the session, end of the American session, and going to the Asian session. So it was too wide. That's why I couldn't continue it. And you can see that it was another good move. Like I'm saying, you go in for the smaller one, you can see the opportunity for bigger one. But if you couldn't place it, well, okay, I couldn't. Well, I should have really get up like at 5 o'clock in the morning and then place it. It would work. And what I'm trying to show you once again, because look at this a bit of the consolidation, and it was pretty much straight afterwards, and that movement it was possible to catch again. Okay, so as a continuation. So now this is the where it stopped, and that's why I draw this level, because I have this bottom previously. Okay, and now of course I would wait for any consolidation around this area. Okay, around this level. So what to expect next? From that, if it will give me a bit of consolidation, and on the 4-hour chart would be better to see, you can see it might look like a bit of the shoulder. So from here it could possibly go back up around the shoulder area, right? Okay, so around here. So this is a good space to get there. So if it will do consolidation, pending order buy again, and possibly get to this area. And of course at the same time it might just continue the way down, so it could possibly be pending order sell. If it will go to the shoulder area, I will draw another level here. Okay, I do not do it right now here, I'm just telling you about it. Okay, so I will draw another level here and then wait for consolidation around this level. Okay, so if it will do any consolidation here, then of course I would expect it as a shoulder possibly go down. So that's why I will be placing pending order sell and the possible continuation. Maybe it will not going to be a head and shoulder, so it might continue the way down, way up, and then placing the pending order buy. So that's how easy it sounds, really. So, but it all depends, like I'm saying, how straight it's going to be, and like around here or around this area, or it might create again a smaller patterns. Okay, smaller any patterns, triangles, diamonds, anything. Okay, so at this moment it's clear around this area. Of course, it will jump down once again somewhere in the middle, waiting for some consolidation. Well, if it will jump up, Like I'm saying, depends if that area. If not area, it will go higher. Then we will see what's going, what to look at once again at any consolidation, any slowing down. So this is pound dollar. Now going to dollar yen, and okay, in a smaller chart once again. So you can see the dollar yen. This was when it was creating it on Tuesday. You can see the movement wasn't strong enough, and I actually left my orders in here open. And the all movements happened at Asian session. Well, you know, it's dollar yen, so yen, of course, you expect the movements during the night. And I was leaving it all with my expert. For somehow it didn't got me out from the buy order here. As you can see, it's the wings, and usually it could possibly be sleeperage, well, anything. So it didn't took me out, and it stayed. So when I checked it on Wednesday, I was still in a trade, which was, you can see, very close to the bottom level, okay, where I also had the pending order to sell. So what I was preparing to do, I was changing the sell. I was increasing the lot just in case I thought if it will go and get me out of the trade with stop, okay, then I will have a buy order with a double lot, okay, like I was telling you from the previous video. But that's why I'm saying to you, placing the at least 20 pips from one level or another level will always, well, not always, will almost, well, often will protect you from the bad trade. You see where it was the 20 pips? It was just below it, and just right in a good place where it's turned around and got me back into my previous open trade, and so where I could come out with the profit, okay? Well, let's see. You see how it works. As I'm just trying to give this more examples and more detail. This is why some of you are asking why you place in the orders, why it's not 10 pips below the level or 10 pips above the level. Yes, sometimes the market doesn't move too much and you might miss some movement, like this one was kind of like a little bit. If you place it 10 pips, for example, right, it could get out here because it would have been more like 20 pips more, go a little bit too much. But that's why I'm placing the 20 pips, because for the years 20 pips works better for somehow, and a little bit more safer than like 10 pips or even 15 pips. You see, this is plus minus this little bit, but I always try to place it no less than 20 pips. Okay, it could be 20, maybe 1, 22, 23 pips, but not less than that, just to prevent something like that. You see those unnecessary entries. So you could take in bad trade again, you see, because you see it turned around. That's why I was saying, like, just wait and follow the rules. So, well, okay, if it would have get out, then would think something else. You see, when it would have turned around and place once again, it could have been 2 losses, but increase the lot again. But like I'm saying, depends. Don't forget, of course, about the money management, how much you have on your account. If money management doesn't allow that, then just wait for the next entry point or something. Okay, if you can't walk out with the same pair. Okay, so this is example for dollar yen. So once again, you know why pending orders, okay, why is it above? You have to have a distance from the levels, okay, so you will avoid unnecessary bad trades. So what is it now? Okay, so it stopped here, and let's just go bigger, look on a bigger chart, because this will be a bit better picture. You see where it stopped at the previous area of the, here was head and shoulders. Okay, and the pattern. So here I would just wait again also for something. Okay, maybe it will give the same head and shoulders, maybe double top or something, or well, anything, maybe flag or just a flat. You never know. So, but this is the area. Okay, so that's the area. And again, if we will look on a bigger chart, remember I was telling you about a long time ago that I can see that the market can come to this area and sit a little bit here for a while. So that's why it's getting in here. We'll be trying to break it this week. Who knows? Because with all the news what's happening, political, right? You never know what can happen here. So I'm just waiting for it, a little bit of now creation of something around this area. So and the same strategy again. So I'm not going to repeat it once again. So it's in here. If it will go down, I would probably just straighten this up a little bit. Just like, remember when it was creating this top and a second top, I told you it could be double top, it could be maybe triangle, or it could be head and shoulders. So maybe this is a big head, creation of the big head. Okay, so this is the shoulder then. So that's why I'm saying if something will give here, then possibly it could be an entry point around this area. If it will not give, it will be very messy, go back down to this area, When we will see is anything going to give anything here, then go back down, maybe possibly to see if it will be any slowing down by this level. And because it's a quite a big movement, right? So I wouldn't expect it like drop straight to the bottom where the, let's say, the neck area of the previous shoulder. That's why I have all of these levels on the way, because if there will be consolidations or creations or any smaller patterns, then this could be possibilities for entry points. Okay, so instead of just waiting for going back and actually giving head and shoulders on the way, we can catch the movements. So this is dollar yen. Now going to Australian dollar. This is where, remember, I drew that level, but I didn't like it much because actually it didn't give me any of the patterns at all. It just continued the way up. So that's why I didn't want to place any orders around here. Except it did look like a possible shoulder, which I was telling you about, but it wasn't strong for me. And well, okay, it moved. But here, look, it created double top. This is would have been possibly an entry point. But because I already had the other pairs, okay, remember I told you about always think about money management. So that's why I decided I wouldn't go for Australian dollar trade. I prefer the other pairs. But this is your double top. That's the level. And here's your entry point. Well, could possibly place the buy orders, pending orders once again here, and sell pending orders here, right? So it went down. So now, of course, possibly looking at that as a shoulder, this might be a double head, so I would just rather see that where it will go next. If it will go down here, maybe a bit of consolidation. I draw this level now. I didn't like it to draw previously, just to see maybe it's going to be like a bit of the neck area, and if it will have some consolidation and possibly placing the sell orders from here, and depends how wide it's going to be, because this is quite wide channel, I would say. Maybe it will just sit on top of that, a little bit small consolidation around here, and then slowly continue to the next level. So just need to see. But at this moment, I would look at it like a head and shoulders. Okay, it's possibly possible head and shoulders pattern. So if it's not going to continue down, of course, if it will go back to this level, again, maybe it will go like a little bit of giving like a flag pattern. Depends how it will go. Then possibly to draw the buy orders would be obviously from that level. If it will not break it again and do something at the top of it, if it will start to beat consolidate underneath it like this, like go like that, then from that level pending order sell, and from that level pending order buy. So that's how I would look at Australian dollar for next week. Dollar Canadian, as you can see, this was I was placing orders, right? So that was a small order buy, which was also with a very small profit, and sell with also small profit. That's what I'm saying to you. Go for 10 pips and protect yourself, because as you can see, it went up and went down, and then only afterwards consolidation more it continued up. So if you would think like I was also warning you about this breaking this level, because it's been sitting at it quite a while and it's in a downtrend channel. It's looked like a correction, and a lot of people probably would have expected to finally go down as in the trend. But remember the wings, right, and previous bottoms. That's why I said if you will go for sell, then don't forget to protect yourself around this area. So that's exactly what I did, and on that, when it's turned around, so I end up with some profit and no losing trade. Okay, so you see, that's why you need to protect yourself with 10 pips. So then afterwards I decided to leave dollar CAD, didn't go for any other trades. I didn't place anything. Well, obviously you see it came back and went up even higher and touched finally of the main level of the downtrend. Okay, so now of course I'll just wait for any consolidation around this area, okay, around this level, and once again bigger picture will give it a little bit a better view. And here you see finally it's here, and now well, depends if it's going to be really big, maybe between these two levels, okay, or I draw this level, because what can happen, as you can see, we had previously this is a little bit of resistance level. It might just be the main level might not be good for placing the orders from it, because that one can stop it. Okay, so that's why I need to be a bit careful, and to see that movement might just go straight to that, okay, straight to that level, and then might start to consolidate between these two levels, okay, between these two. So you never know. So if it will do some consolidation, then I would look at it again, once again, and to see how good is going to be this, and maybe using this level for placing pending orders buy, and that level for placing pending orders sell, okay. So that's what I'm saying. It depends if it will go up a bit or it will start to consolidate underneath it. okay, or it might just go back down and sit between these two levels again. And of course, then maybe I will just wait for a little bit when it will narrow down a little bit more. So, well, that's my view on the dollar CAD. Euro pound. Well, in Euro pound, you can see we had a bottom and it didn't create a bottom. It did have a little bit of the bottom. For me, it wasn't again much. For consolidation, Euro pound is also, I'm not as a big fan of that pair. I only trade when I see a little bit stronger signal. So that was a little bit of consolidation. You can see I didn't like it. I told you I would rather to see it consolidate a little bit more between these two levels and then place the orders. But it just continued all the way down. Okay, so now I have next kind of level here. And well, it's kind of in the middle. So for me, I'm going to avoid this pair once again. I'll just show you where the level come from. Okay, so it's from that bottom. You can see here we had a between and it stopped here, and that's why I could draw the level here. Okay, so to see if it's going to sit around it, maybe it will turn around. So I still see that this area is a little bit more stronger for me in my view. And if, for example, that we'll come back to this area and we'll consolidate between these levels somewhere around here, then I would rather to, or maybe a little bit higher that, I would rather to see it and look for opportunities to place my orders around here. Okay, so because there's a lot of space to go to back to this level and quite a good space to go back to this level. So that's how I see it. If it will go down to this, then I would see if it will start to consolidate around that level, give something else. Then also it wouldn't be so bad. Let's say if it will have a not very big consolidation, small, and then it's about, you see, 70 pips back to this level again. So then I would look at possible opportunities, because right now for me it's like well, 40 pips up and about 40 pips, 50 pips down. So I don't think it's worth it to go for such small possible movements for me. I mean, if it will have a little bit of consolidation around here, so I'd rather just wait for a bit better signal for me. Okay, so go to one level or go back to this area. So now gold. Okay, so with gold, I like I was telling you, it's first, remember I was telling you might create also diamond or fish pattern. So in Monday when it started, it gave you this top and started to go down. This could have been possibly be a little bit of the pattern and could catch a little trade, but like I'm saying, for gold, it's not not very good. I'm saying it's a little bit riskier. So that's why I would wait for a little bit longer for it to go. So you see, when the market broke here first time, I was still not sure about placing new orders, even though it's like looked like a really nice flag, but it was too close to that level. So when it went down and then come back and started to break out, this is where I had my small trade in here. I thought possibly here it might still, because from here to the next level it was a little bit more now distance, and that's why I was hoping it will continue its way, but go out again. You see small movement, I go out of the trade and it's turned around. You see, that's what I'm saying. You expect maybe going here and a lot of people would just keep their trade and thinking, oh yeah, it's like it's broke once and it should really continue to the next trade, next level definitely. Well, you see what's happening, it turns around. That's what I'm always saying. Protect yourself, take a small profit, and like you want to keep the rest of it run, but move the stop into the safe position, either break even or with a small profit. Okay, like I'm saying, you might not catch a good move, but at least you will not get into the bad trade. Okay, you will not make a loss. It would be less. Of course, it's not 100%, always 100%. No, of course not. Nothing is 100%. So, well, here again on Friday, I didn't place my orders, which I was thinking once again to place sell and buy orders from those levels, and it had a really good drop on Friday. Like I was telling you also on Fridays, well, I usually trade when there are news are coming, so there was some news, but I just didn't trade on this Friday at all. You see, I missed quite a lot of movements this Friday. But anyway, so that's it. Now what with gold? Well, let's look on the bigger picture. It's getting close again to this level, and now just once again just waiting for what is it going to do around this area? Is it going to give some consolidation, or is it not? Right now, I don't really want to draw anything. Just want to see, because, well, okay, we can try something, but not at this moment. You still have like really low bottom here. These tops, it might look a little bit like a big flag, but we'll see. So you can see now need a bit of, let's see what the consolidation is going to be here. If it's possible, kind of a bit of the flag, let's just on a bigger picture, it's also, you can see we have a level here. So, well, no, don't think, well, maybe like a really sharp one. No, at this moment you see it's really hard to say. I just need to see what is it going to do. There's lots of levels here need to be taken off, but at this moment I'll just wait. Okay, there is nothing, just wait for what is it going to do next in here and around that level. Okay, so if it will do any consolidation, nice one again, pretty good. So then possibly this using this level as a sell again to the next, right, back to the area. If it will go back into this area once again, that's why I don't want to remove this levels just yet. Or maybe it will consolidate between this and that level. Well, that's what we need to see now. Okay, it's just a waiting time at that point. Okay, so pound yen is okay, 1 hour chart. So here we go. Also didn't have any consolidation, just continues that way. Like I was telling you, I wouldn't go for anything until it will go to the next level. And here we go, had created a little bit of the double top, right? Some a little bit consolidation here, double top. And here's your breaking point. Wow, that's it. Sell pending order. And now, of course, I would rather to see it come back to this area, to this level, and do any consolidation around here, because this would be really nice. Enough space to go down, enough space to go back up, and I would look for it. If not to go to that, maybe it will, you know, have a little flag, a correction, right? And create a flag and back to this area once again, and maybe not back, or maybe just somewhere stop between them, right? Between this and this. Then possibly once again as a sell pending order, or the buy pending order, depends how well, how good it will do a consolidation. So what is it going to show? I mean, it could be like a little bit shoulder once again, that might be head and might go back up. Okay, give a shoulder or something. Then it would be a little bit too close to that level. I would just, as I'm saying, for me, I would rather just, like I said, go to this level, go back to that level, or give something between these two, give a flag or something like right in the middle. So it would be right good distances between these two levels. So, well, that's pretty much it. If it will just drop, then of course somewhere I would rather to see it in the middle. Okay, slow down the middle between these two levels. So, well, that's pretty much it, guys. So that's the plans for the coming week, and that's how I use levels and patterns in my trading. And my strategy with 20 pips pending orders and take 10 pips, at least 10 pips small profit. Okay, and depends, continue with the rest, like I said. Aiming for each pair, like let's say it could have been euro, dollar, pound, like 10 pips, 20, 30, 40, 50, let's say 50 pips minimum. But with the way I'm telling you, it's for me it's up to 100 something pips this week. So you see, and of course if I would continue like with Friday, it could have been even more than that. It could have been up to 400 pips, because the movements on Friday were really good. And also if I would go for some movements on Monday with pound dollar, you saw it was a good pattern, and it could have been even more. So, but protect with 10 pips. You can see how you can avoid the bad trades. Okay, so if you really like the video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and happy trading. And I hope to see you next week. Bye, everyone.